Her Empty Ocean is an ARG made by Senpai Ryusaki, a friend of mine. I occasionally make puzzles and encrypted messages myself, and the best feeling is when someone tries to solve them. So, this one's for you, Ryu. October 2023, a Twitter account by the name of Her Empty Ocean was created. The account participates in the Inktober trend, an annual trend in which artists draw and post something every day throughout October, according to a prompt list. For this account, each day's art individually seems like a regular Inktober artwork, but as it goes on, it is clear that there is something under the surface. So far, the ARG spans across 2 years, 2023 and 2024, with the main content being in the form of Inktober art prompts. I will call 2023's bulk Season 1 and 2024's Season 2. I encourage you to check them out yourselves as well, because apart from the ARG, the pieces are also very well made. Links are, of course, in the description. So, let's go over the main storyline of the first season, or, well, at least my interpretation of it. The story revolves around a girl named Shelly and an aquatic creature named Sam. We know their name thanks to their signature in the 5th day's piece map. The duo is often seen hanging out near a beach, occasionally with some other creatures joining in. Most of the scenes are shown without continuity, but with few exceptions, including day 21 and 22, which is about a certain chest. Its significance is currently unknown, but a more notable exception, however, is the continuity on day 26 onwards. A seemingly hostile creature resembling Sam, potentially Sam themselves, somehow corrupted, is seen emerging from the water. Shelly hides under a bed and hears voices calling out to someone named Sam from beyond the curtain. Well, I think that's a curtain. I'm not quite sure if it is, but a curtain would make the most sense. I don't know this. Yeah. The Dark Sam takes notice and approaches the other side of the curtain while telling Shelly to stay. Shit goes up in flames on the other side and thus ends Season 1. Of course, this raises a bunch of questions. What is the ocean? What happened to Sam? What happened at the end? And keep these questions in mind, we might be able to answer some of them once we go a little deeper. Before that though, let's cover Season 2 real quick. Season 2 feels less continuous than Season 1, and it is more oriented towards hidden codes and details. Shelly is alone in the season most of the time, with Sam reappearing only way later into the season. We see Shelly doing many activities or going about her daily life, although sometimes also being in heavy sorrow. The latter half of the season sees Shelly investigating certain tapes on her computer, reawakening in a rusted place and finally reuniting with Sam. Once again, numerous new questions are raised. What is Shelly sorrowful about? Where even is she this time? And again, what happened? Once again, keep these questions in mind and let us dive deep into the abyss, for we are now going into the ARG side of things. During the runtime of Season 1, the account tweeted out a poem, which I will read out verbatim. Every last second till dawn I hear, like a critter crawling round and round, like a stinging jellyfish and a sound, like an abandoned aquarium in my head, like a pitter-patter before I was dead, like it was golden hour upon this flight, and just like a plink I hear, the last second till night. Alongside the poem is a link to Her Empty Ocean ARG website, a website that is also linked to in the account's location. On the website lies another poem, and clicking a button will reveal the description of the ARG, alongside the artwork from day 5. Clicking on the coral icon leads you to the reef.card, a web that acts as a collection for all of the arts from the ARG. The relevancy of this web to the lore is still unknown, and we'll move on from this link for now. Because the real meat of the lore is in the letter I, for it leads us to the shallow.card. The web is the employee database for a company called Loaf Incorporated. There's definitely lore behind this, but we need to enter the correct ID number in order to access the info. This is where the poem prior comes into play. If we look at the first season's arts, you will realize that some of the arts correspond to a line from the poem. Like a critter crawling round and round corresponds to day 2, spider. Like a stinging jellyfish and a sound corresponds to day 9. Like an abandoned aquarium in my head is day 1. Like a pitter platter before I was dead is day 7. And like it was golden hour upon its light is day 6. Combining all of these gives us 29176, which we can plug into the Loaf Inc. website. Turns out it's an incorrect password. We gotta add a 0 to the end, making the password 291760. And boom, access granted. Oh boy, there's a lot of lore to uncover. We are currently reviewing the profile of an employee named Samuel last name, a medical technologist of Loaf Incorporated. The profile picture leads us nowhere, and neither does the journal button. So all that's left to do is review the logs. The research log lists 3 entries: magnetic resonance imaging for the brain, aka MRI, Project Deep Sea, the Sereniter, and Neuroneutralizer, Sealing Automatic Mechanism, or SAM for short. The MRI entry links to a log discussing the test subjects for Project Deep Sea, one of whom had dropped out of the project. The other 2 entries lead to an error page. Yeah, there are lots of error pages, but the information we have right now is actually plentiful, sufficient to figure out what is going on. Loaf Incorporated is performing a research project called the Sereniter, some sort of technology that creates a serene mindscape to improve the mental health of its users. We know this thanks to the name of the project, the MRI logs, and literally the first art of the ARG. At some point, the researcher Samuel uses the Sereniter and creates a beach mindscape which we see throughout Season 1, living there as Shelley. Unfortunately, the experiment goes wrong somehow, as it does, and the sealing mechanism, SAM, kicks in, manifesting as Sam in the mindscape. This leads to researcher Samuel going into a comatose state, or well, at least she probably ended up dead, while her consciousness is still trapped in her empty ocean. Well, that sucks for her, but at least it answers many questions regarding Season 1. But my answers for Season 2 is still very much lacking. There's also the chest that I don't know whether it's relevant or not, but as far as I'm concerned, there's probably a dead child in there. As for the rest of the story, that's where you guys come in. I've already decrypted the codes and the artworks for Season 2, but I still couldn't piece the story together. Maybe you guys can figure something out, but for now, I'll go over the decrypted codes. Before Season 2, Ryu posted an art of Shelley on her account. There are 2 barcodes hidden in the picture, which translates to "Attention employees" and "All products relating to Project Deep Sea must be removed from distribution immediately." Day 5's second picture has a Morse code saying, "In the middle of the journey of our life, I found myself within a dark woods, where the straight way was lost." Day 8 has a bunch of stuffs. We got the Thai translation for the novel The Da Vinci Code. We have this book encrypted in base 64, which says, "I want to hold equals you." The next book is encoded in Polybius square cipher, translating to "My head hurts." The middle book is Marshmallow's Gift Garden, a children's book about pregnancy loss. Not sure how we got here, but it's probably important, maybe? Day 15's tweet has a hashtag encoded in shifting cipher. Shifting each character by 15 gives us "The prompt is merely a key." Now, Inktober's prompt for day 15 of this year is Guidebook, which is the key for the visionary cipher in the art. Decrypting it used the lyrics to the song "You Are My Sunshine." Day 18 uses another shifting cipher, this time shifted by 18, to give us Confidential. Day 21 is yet again the shifting cipher, shifted by 20. It gives "I wonder if I could hold it and would fall it into love." I think I gotta rearrange that actually. Day 22 uses the shift of 22, giving us YL error. Day 30 shifts the character by 22 again, as alive as blunt birds caught in a crescendo of dilapidated delusions. And day 31 shifts by 31, giving us "Entangled in the frits of their veins, woe was their salvation." And that's all the codes. Again, I couldn't figure out the full story in Season 2 as of yet, so I'm going to leave the rest to you guys. Maybe you can comment it down below what you got, or maybe you can make your own video on it. And don't forget that, hey, it's just a theory. A game theory! Thanks for watching. Man, I've always wanted to say that.